What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Blind Power. Today I want to talk about future changes in transportation safety that I want to see happen. So we've all heard about the Uber situation where Uber ran over a person in, I think it was Arizona. I don't remember what state it was, but I'll pop it on the screen. I know there'll be a link of the video in the description. It's pretty gruesome, so watch with caution. But yeah, you know, this woman got run over with a self-driving car, and this kind of sparked things that could potentially happen and fears that could be in people. So, okay, first, you don't have to be scared of self-driving vehicles. What Uber did was actually stupid because they were going 60 miles on a street that was well lit with a actual person inside. The person inside of the vehicle could have prevented the car from stopping, but they did not actually stop the car. They pressed that big button that says stop right now. So the person could have been texting or could have been distracted. We don't know. Uber has not released more information about the passenger inside of the car, but it's pretty bad, honestly. This marks history right here because it's our first death by a machine. That's pretty gnarly. So here's some things that I want to see change in transportation safety for the next 10 years. So the first thing I want a sky bridge for crossing. So, I mean, at least every mile or so, do a sky bridge. You know, it's not that hard. Just, you know, a basic, it doesn't have to be as strong as the car bridges. Just make it out of like wire. It's just for walking across. You know, of course, don't make it fall, like FIU's bridge. Make it to where it's actually sturdy and people can cross it and there's no running over people, because I've already heard of 3 people getting run over this year by cars, and that's crazy. Okay, 2 people that I knew, 1 person that I didn't know but was run over by a major company. So, you know, make a sky bridge. That's going to solve a lot of our problems. And then when self-driving cars are actually available for the consumer, the self-driving cars don't have to worry about random people walking in the middle of the car, and you don't have to worry about pedestrian safety as much. I mean, you still do, because what about if you're in a residential area, right? But, you know, at least you don't have to worry about the car detecting somebody at 80 miles an hour, you know, and have to detect a person 20 feet away. You know, so the radar on the car that crashed was 140. It was 140 meters of detection, since the Tesla's 160, but 140 is enough to still detect a person in areas where it's not pedestrian safe. So the places where you don't have the skyway, places where there's no sidewalk and pedestrians are walking in the middle of the road, you know, the car can actually detect them because you have to slow down. But in highways and stuff, make an air bridge, like a bridge that actually crosses people from top, so that way you avoid running over people, right? And self-driving cars can essentially be safer. And, you know, consider crossing on the bottom of the street something jaywalking, you know? So people who cross on the bottom of the street can get, you know, some kind of fine for doing that, because then, you know, you're talking about public transportation safety, and you're actually getting people to cross in somewhere where it's safe. You know, you tell them to go up on this bridge, you know, and climb up through this bridge, and, you know, you don't have to even cross in front of a car. You're on top of the cars, and the bridge is not going to collapse, and you're safer than you are crossing in front of cars. So I think that is our future, because after this, you know, incident with Uber and so many people who get run over a year, I think it's time to get sky bridges again. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, there was some sky bridges. There was here in Miami, there was actually one in downtown, and I love those sky bridges because you don't have to cross the street. You just get to the end of it, you go, and then you cross the sky bridge, and that's it. And sometimes sky bridges can actually get you from point A to point B, because say, you know, if you have 2 streets you gotta cross, or 3, you can actually use the sky bridge to make shortcuts to a place. So if there's a mall, and, you know, there's a nice little street crossing where there's like a 6-lane highway, so just do the bridge all the way to the mall, you know what I mean? And then bypass the parking lot, bypass all. So sky bridges can be something really cool. It can essentially be a way of transporting pedestrians safer and quicker. Honestly, that's my dream. So I want to see sky bridges to the point where, if we get on a self-driving car, cool, we're in the road, but we're safe too. So honestly, with self-driving cars on the rise, they have to do something about that, and they also have to increase the self-driving car radars to detect people from further distances, just to improve safety a little bit. I'd say at least 250 meters, or if you want to make it even better, just use the cars near you, and use satellites everywhere at some point where there's going to be complete safety. But I think all this stuff could essentially come on the rise in 10 years or so, when they realize that self-driving cars, in order to actually be usable on high-speed highways where there's actual crossings, you will actually need to put the sky bridges, and you'll actually have to improve transportation safety. Even then, the sides of the bridges will have to be somewhat elevated so that there's no essential people jumping off the bridge who are not happy with themselves. So you have to think about every scenario of safety, and those bridges have to have some good walls on each side so that you're kind of boxed in and you're safe. That even if you're totally blind and you don't see the edge of the bridge, you can feel with your cane, hey, that's the edge, and it's tall enough where if you bump into it, you're not going to fall through. So there's a lot of things to consider when doing a sky bridge, but I think that that's the future for self-driving cars to actually be on the road safer, especially on highway roads and stuff where you really need speed to get to point A to point B. Because all these highways are 60 to 80 miles, but somehow or another they have crossings in those highways, and for self-driving cars that's not ideal. So I hope you guys enjoyed my little rant on the skyway crossings and what happens with self-driving cars. And honestly, comment your opinion down below. So hope you guys enjoyed this video just as I enjoyed making it. Comment, rate, subscribe. You know what I do. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye. Hit the subscribe button, and remember to enable the notification bell to get all notifications of blind power uploads. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.